So I think it's time to do another update since today is Monday. So I went to Starbucks in the morning and spent a bunch of time just watching different videos about the South America. See my pretty cool looking camera with this grip, so you can shoot like this, you know, it has all the buttons here, you can shoot like this, and this is the genuine Nikon battery grip. So, but I'm selling this one because basically everybody says if you go to hold on one second. Sorry, I'm out of wine, so today we're drinking Leżarsk 5.5 alcohol beer from Poland. It's pretty good. Still warm. Anyway, everybody says that, you know, this Costa Rica thing, it's really a once in a lifetime opportunity if you like doing you know, wildlife photography and just watching wildlife and scenery. And so normally they say you should bring 2 cameras, whereas professionals say bring 2 camera bodies. And so I have this one, and I was thinking about getting another one because this is a gray market model. Works fine. It's like 30% cheaper than the regular retail model. So basically new, this is $2 grand US with gray market, whereas retail US version I think is $27.50 or something like that. And in Canada it's even more expensive. In Canada it's almost 4,000 Canadian. It's just crazy, you know. It's a DSLR, right? Very few people buy them nowadays, and still they're so expensive. And so I wanted to buy the second one, as you know, because I have 3 lenses, and they say that's what you do. You know, you don't want to change lenses because it's very humid over there, lots of moisture. You know, you can be outside, there can be dirt, and so you want to have one lens attached. Like this is going to be my primary lens. It's very small. I love this. It's a pretty expensive, but not as expensive as like f4, because this is f5.6, but it's very light. It's 500mm PF, and I got this special leg. So thanks to one of my viewers who's recommended this, because this came with like a leg like this, and it always falls off. So this is a really nice setup, and I usually like, you know, carrying it like this. But, you know, I started looking at other options. Like, honestly, I don't like carrying 2 cameras, you know, like, call me crazy, but I'm not doing some mission critical applications like weddings, right? Like people that do weddings or maybe funerals, you know, you don't want to miss a moment, so you always have spare double of everything: memory cards, batteries, cameras, lenses, right, in case one camera breaks down. But I don't know, I'm still gonna bring all my GoPros. I'm gonna bring you know, my chest mount, so I can shoot like when I'm, let's say I'm hiking over there. And just bought a couple of batteries for my GoPro, so I'm definitely bringing this. Like, I'm shooting now with 9, and then I have 8, which shoots pretty good. But 9, I think it's better because it allows you this custom picture controls. You know, it looks a bit better. Like now I'm shooting, you see the color is a little bit like weird. I just like it that way. It's I just twisted the you know, the color of the light. And so yeah, I started looking around, and 2 cameras came to my attention. Since now I'm a rich retiree, well, at least for a month, because yeah, I don't believe in retirement. I mentioned this before, because I cannot just, you know, lie on the sofa and drink beer. Like, you'll get fat and ugly and you'll die very soon. So I always want to be in business for myself. And like I mentioned, it's either I'm going to be a broker or a pilot car driver, but I think broker would be better out of these 2, and then maybe a machinery trader. But you know, to trade machinery, man, you need like $200,000-300,000, you know, like in like a credit line or I don't know, or cash. So after I pay off all these bills here, I'll probably just end up with like 70 grand Canadian. So that's not even enough to buy a house or something. I was hoping I could buy a small house somewhere in the north. You know, I was doing research on that. And actually, to my surprise, I found a few options. Because, you know, this area near Toronto, it's like $1 million, $2 million, like, I don't know, it's like $10,000 a month. I don't know. The mortgage, it's just not realistic. Like, if you go across the border into US, like New York, Michigan, way cheaper. But turns out Northern Ontario, like if you're willing to go far, you know, like into the woods, let's say somewhere, maybe there's like a town with, I don't know, 70,000 people, and just look for a house somewhere in the suburbs of that, you can find something decent for 150,000 Canadian. And so that's what I was looking at, you know. Found a little house in the woods, but of course it's very cold. It's near the Lake Superior, but there's a bunch of wildlife, and I'm pretty sure you can find some gun club or you know, shooting range, because I'm still waiting for my results. Remember, I took that course, Canadian firearms safety course, so I'm just waiting for the stamped paperwork to come back, basically certifying that I did receive the training. And once I have that, I can apply for the actual license, which is like $60. And then if they approve me, I can get I can buy something, you know, just for fun, you know, just shoot at some beer cans or something in the backyard, you know. Yeah, I was thinking like a shotgun, you know, like a 590 A1 Mossberg or 590 M, that crazy thing with a magazine. I watched a bunch of videos about this. But anyway, so Northern Ontario actually would be good, even though it's cold in winter. But I did grow up in Russia, you know, I'm not a stranger to cold. I don't like it, but you know, when it's cold, just stay home, you know, watch TV and play YouTube videos. But I don't know, I'm not gonna have too much money, especially since I'm buying a new camera. So like I said, I started looking at these expensive cameras again, you know, like just once in my life I can afford something decent, like a real professional camera with no debt. I can just buy it for cash, you know. Of course, I'm using my Visa, but I'm gonna pay it off right away. And so I figured, wait a second, instead of buying the second one of these, why don't I just sell this and then buy that expensive camera, either Z9 or D6. So Z9 is mirrorless, D6 is the last generation professional camera. So it actually looks pretty similar to this, but it has this pot is built in, like this big battery, is part of that body of D6, but that's a, you know, it's made for reporters, for photographers, you know, news photographers. So it's a serious camera, and it's like fully it's like weatherproof, you know. The shutter is good for 400,000 actuations. It's crazy. You can do 14 shots a second. And I don't like mirrorless, I just like DSLR, you know, old good DSLR, because I got a couple of good lenses. Anyway, so I just found, I was searching and searching, and I decided to stick to DSLR. And now we are in a crazy situation where the Z9, or Z9 as we say in Canada, is cheaper than D6. So the mirrorless camera, which came out in 21, is cheaper than a DSLR D6, which came out in 19 or 20. It's basically the policy of Nikon. They're just pushing mirrorless on people, right? And I didn't want to pay retail, because retail, yeah, it's very expensive. I think in the US it's like the D6, it's B&H Photo sells it, I think $6,800 US. And Canada, it's like total crazy, 8,500 Canadian plus our 13% tax. Basically, you can buy a car. But like I said, I'm going to Costa Rica once in my lifetime, and I wanted to have a reliable camera, weatherproof, you know, protected. And that D6, that's the best camera. It's like the most rugged camera I know. And so I said, okay, I don't want to pay 6,800 US. Let's see what the gray market has. And the same guy where I bought this gray market D850 had D6 for 5,200, but somehow I didn't want to work with them, because last time he tried to screw me over, because the prices in the store, according to this guy, are different from the website. Like I went to his retail store in New Jersey, and he says, no, the prices you saw over there, those are different. Those are shipped directly from the warehouse. The cameras we have here, they are $300 more, because they already have a third-party warranty. So started giving me all this. I said, why didn't tell me this before when I called you on the phone? Like, I called him on the phone saying I'm coming, just to make sure he has these cameras, and he never said anything. But when I came, it's like basically, you know, a typical, what they call it, bait and switch, right? Like, here's a carrot for $2,000, and you come to get the carrot, and now they say, actually, you know what, this carrot is now $2,300. And so I found another guy, and I'm telling you, these gray market guys, they're funny, right? So on the website, so the price was $4,996, basically 5,000 US. Selling out of US, brand new, everything in. It says we'll ship within 2 or 3 days. And I said, okay, give me second day UPS. I'll just go to New York to pick it up at the post office. And they say, yeah, 2-3 days, okay? And then as soon as I did the transaction, I see my Visa is charged. The guy calls me. You just placed an order for this expensive camera. I want to tell you that we order them from Hong Kong, so it's going to be about 3 to 4 weeks. I said, what? What are you talking about? I said, I already paid you. Your website said 2-3 days turnaround time. The guy says, well, you know, we don't stock these. So, well, wait, on your website it says in stock, in black and white, in stock, ready to ship. No, we have, you know, we've been selling them a lot, so we have to order them. It's going to be 2-3 weeks, 3.5. And I said, man, I want to fly to, you know, to South America for vacation. I cannot wait 3 weeks. Just give me my money back, and I'll buy it from somebody else. And if you know the bait and switch method, you probably should already anticipate what this guy said. So he says, the camera I want for $5,000 is available, everything is cool, but it's in Hong Kong, 3 weeks away. Or I have the last camera, I swear to God, that's what he said. We have one more retail version of a camera that's made for North American market. It's a bit more money because it already includes warranty. Like exactly the same bait and switch like that guy said from New Jersey, because that's what he said. He says, yeah, the cheap cameras, there's no warranty there on our website. You have to order directly. But what we have here in the store, it's a camera with a warranty already. Like, and basically what they do is they have a contract with some, you know, outfitters, Garden Tools Incorporated, and they sell them the warranty, and so they make a lot of money because, you know I used to work in retail, right, selling phones, so I know sometimes you make more money on warranty, on this BS warranty, than on actual product, because maybe he got this warranty for $100 and he's selling it to me for $300. So that guy did this, and this guy did the same trick. So he says, yeah, if you don't want to wait 3 weeks, and of course I don't, I have the last retail copy, but actually it was a bit nicer actually, because he said that one, if I were to wait for 3 weeks, that one does not include the battery. I'm like, what? There's no battery, there's no charger. Like it's like, that's why it's $5,000, whereas that guy from New Jersey says $5,200. So anyway, he said, but this one, yeah, it's like, I think he said $5,500 or something. But he says, first off, this has a 3-year warranty, okay. But it has the battery and it has the charger. And I can tell you that this battery over here, let me show you what it looks like, if I can find it. This battery, it's very expensive. It's about $100, I think. You know, then you need a special charger for this. But I'm pretty sure this is the, that's why when I'm selling this, I don't want to give this battery to the buyer. So I found the guy, he's just waiting, just trying to agree on time, because I have to give my truck away probably tomorrow. And more about this in a second, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to buy a D6, because D6 uses the same battery as this, I'm pretty sure. But this guy on the phone was telling me, no, you need a different battery. I said, really? Because he was probably thinking about the battery that's in there, like, you know, the standard battery, it's over here. But this is extended battery in the battery grip. It's different. It's the same as D5 or D6. So, but the good news is that this camera that I bought, so it's already ordered, everything's confirmed. So it's a D6, a super nice dream of a camera. Sorry, which will look pretty much like this, except it won't have this, right? It doesn't have this, and this will be built in. Like this part, the battery pack is part of the camera, so it's like, looks like a brick, you know. But I like it. I like this big. I have big hands, you know, and I just like this, that you can easily, you know, swap like this for a vertical orientation, and you have all the buttons here, you know. So it's really, you know, once I tried this battery pack, I really started thinking about the D6, you know, like these, basically they call them 1-digit cameras, like D, like, you know, they had D3, D4, D5, D6. That's like what the Nikon calls a real professional camera. So that's for news reporters, for photographers, you know, working like in war zones, you know. It's a beast of a camera. It's very hard to damage. It's the same as Canon has. Canon has 1DX, right? So it's the same class. It's I would never be able to buy a camera like that, but now I sold the trailer, and now we're still in the truck. And so yeah, it's confirmed. So the camera will be shipped in a couple of days. They will let me know. So I'm just gonna go across the border in my car, and I haven't decided yet if I want to go down to Miami in my car and then fly from there to Costa Rica, because it's way cheaper and I love driving my car. You know, I've been always in my truck, right? I love my car, the Dodge Charger 5.7. So it would be cool just to do like a road trip like I did a few years ago. Just, you know, take like a couple of days and get down to Florida. But I don't know, I might just jump into US, pick up the camera, come back, pay the sales tax, because they will want me to pay the sales tax at the border, and then go to Toronto and fly from Toronto directly to Costa Rica. So I don't know. Now about the truck. So 8 o'clock, nothing. Well, basically whole Friday, right? Whole Friday I never spoke to this buyer guy, the millionaire who owns a rigging company and a trucking company, the guy who's buying my truck, who called my sales guy at Kenworth and asked him for his contact info at Packard, basically behind my back. But Friday the ball got rolling, right? And so, but he never called me back, he never emailed me, so I'm thinking, I don't know what this guy is doing. So I went to my yard and I took the truck and I drove it over to my hotel, parked it in the back, you know, because that guy, when he came to see the trailer, he was at my yard, and so I'm thinking, I don't feel comfortable, you know, just leaving the truck there, because anybody can bring a wrecker and tow it, because technically, and that's why I was so anxious about this whole procedure, because the guy insisted on paying Packard directly. So technically, once he pays them, they will send him the release documents, and he can go and get new ownership or title, and he can plate it. So he can own the truck for only that part that he paid them without paying me. But they told me, they assured me that they will not send him the release documents unless they get the green light from me. And so I was a bit anxious, so I kind of like hid the truck away a little bit, thinking that I'm not giving them the truck unless I'm paid. I sent them my invoice Friday, and then so today I got up real early, went to Starbucks, and just was watching a bunch of these videos about Costa Rica. Really learned a lot, you know. It's amazing how much useful actually stuff you can find. Like there's a couple of scams going on over there that you have to be aware of. Like, for example, a young couple went there and they said each time, they said maybe once a day, they had this. Basically, they go in, the guy had his birthday, and his girlfriend took him to a nice restaurant, and so they had like, the guy had 2 drinks and the girl had 1 drink, so 3 drinks total. When they got the bill said 8 drinks. And so and she says they do this everywhere over there, because if you're white, you're a tourist, you're a guy with money, right? And so everywhere you go, they puff up the bill to add charges. And another thing, quite often the tip is already included. Like if you read carefully the bill, so there's no need to tip again, you know, but many people don't know this. And so anyway, so it was a super useful, you know, home education class I took from the comfort of a Starbucks. And so I learned a lot, but I know where to go. I found the resort. Basically all these, you know, how I found this, right? It's because all these photographers I've been watching and following for years, you know, the guys that do, you know, professionally wildlife photography, and they started offering these workshops in Costa Rica. So basically, the guy acts as your guide, as your instructor, you know, this, you know, famous professional photographer, but they charge way too much money. For example, here, they tell you where they're going. They tell you the name of the resort, they tell you the area in Costa Rica, and they want, for 1 week, they want 5,500 US, 5500. Okay. I'm pretty sure I can find my own guides over there. You know, you can rent a bike, you can do like some horse riding. So basically, and they're saying that all these videos I was watching, that there's a lot of wildlife right around the hotel. You don't even have to go too far. You know, there's monkeys, there's lizards, there's all kinds of stuff, right? And so I go to priceline.com, I punch in the name of the resort, Costa Rica, and it turns out I can get like a 4-star hotel at that resort for 120 US a day. And they have meals, they have security. It's like a, you know, like a Western class, you know, US style hotel, like with good security and everything, like a very nice hotel. So 120 bucks. You can go to a hostel for 10 bucks somewhere in San Jose, but I don't want that. I want this peninsula where all the wildlife is. And so that's the plan. I'm not gonna pay $5,500 to these guys. I'm gonna book the hotel directly, the resort, and then when I'm there, I'm gonna bring my new fancy D6 and just start looking for adventures. You know, just hire some local guides, right? Just show me where the animals are, and I'll give you the money. No animals, no money. Okay? Comprende? And so I'm sitting at Starbucks. 8 o'clock, nothing. 9 o'clock, nothing. 10 o'clock, nothing. Then I think 11 o'clock, I'm pulling out of the parking lot to go grab some lunch. And my phone rings, and I look at the caller ID. It says rigging. So I know it's the buyer. And the way this guy calls you, you know, I've been living in Canada since '97. I never heard this style of communication before, where the guy who calls you, he just states his name, and then there's a pause, you know. So you pick up the phone, and the guy says so and so, and he waits. And I'm like, okay, so how are you doing, Mr. So-and-so? And he says, yeah, we paid off the lien on PACCAR, so you should be getting your money shortly. And if you want to wait for the money, or if you want, you can bring the truck right now. I said, no, thank you. I said, I'll wait till I have the money. But I said, just to be clear, so you're gonna pay me what my invoice said, right? And the guy said, yep, whatever you said on whatever you put there on the invoice, basically the price we agreed, 165K Canadian minus what I owed, 83 to PACCAR, and then plus HST, 13% tax, so they owe me about 90 grand. But only like 82,000 is mine, because the rest is just sales tax I have to give to the government. But the guy seemed pretty cool. Seemed like, you know, they want to pay. So I said, yeah, no problem. So I said, if you don't mind, I'll just wait. Of course, I wasn't like, you know, abrupt like that. I just said, if you don't mind, I will wait till I have the money, and I'll let you know as soon as I receive the funds, and I'll bring the truck over. I said, by the way, I was trying to find a shop to remove decals, you know, like my MC number, US DOT number. But I said the earliest appointment I could find was for Wednesday, and today's Monday. I said, you want to wait till I remove the decals Monday? And that's like 300 bucks Canadian. And this guy says, no, 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 don't worry about it. We'll do it here. We really want to get the truck fast. So let me know when when you have the money and when you can come bring the truck over. And I said, cool. And so I went to the front desk of the hotel. I said, guys, I have some garbage bags. I'm selling my semi truck. I have some garbage bags inside the truck. All right, would you be okay if I throw these garbage bags in your container? Man, sorry, in the back of the hotel. And they look at me like, kind of like I have another eye growing on my forehead over here. I don't know, how much garbage do you have? Well, I said, I have no idea. It's like a small apartment, right? I've been living in this truck for 4 years. I started going through everything, and I got a couple of pretty big garbage bags, well, you might want to go to a dump site. I said, well, I have no idea where a dump site is. And she told me, like, an intersection, you'll just pay 10-20 bucks, but who wants to do that? I'll go there, I'll catch some nails in my tires. I'll just find another legal way to dispose of the garbage. I think, there's a couple of truck stops in the area over here. And of course, truck stops, they always know that truckers, carry out garbage, right? Like in the morning, you see everybody's going to the truck stop. They have a small bag with, all this kind of stuff. And so they always have like a container in there. And I don't have too much, but it's like a couple of bags. Basically, I was going through my old clothes that I'm not gonna use again because I have a lot of clothes that got stained by like oil and grease and and fuel. Like they were only good for work, only when I'm loading, unloading, and so I don't need them. And so I have like a half a bag of dirty, like they're clean, but they're still dirty because you cannot wear them at a normal like coffee shop or restaurant, like the stains, because the place where I had them washed, I don't know, they just use regular washing machines, right? And those stains just don't come off, it probably had to be like a dry cleaning or something, And so I got all that, then all my old bookkeeping records that I no longer need, all kinds of stuff. Man, there was so much stuff. And so I moved something, and I have that weighted vest which weighs a ton. I have 3 kettlebells. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. So I think I'll have, if I drive in my car to Miami, I really would have to go and rent a storage locker, because I can carry 1 kettlebell, maybe 2, and that's why now I'm trying to sell. I have this amplifier speaker, because it's a cool toy, with the beat body rhythm machine that I use sometimes with my accordion, but that the beat body is small, it's fine, but the amplifier, the speaker, it's pretty big, sits behind my driver's seat in the charger, takes a lot of space, and I use it like once a year. So I put it online for sale, and if that one sells, then I will have room to put 1 more kettlebell in there, so I can have 1 kettlebell, like 60 pound, behind my driver's seat and 1 behind the passenger seat. And then I want to get rid of the big one, 80 pounds, because I cannot put it anywhere. And I want to get rid of the barbell plates, right? And then I'm gonna throw out, I have that cool folding chair. I don't have room for that, so I'm gonna throw out some of the things that I don't have that much room in the car, Otherwise, I'm gonna look like, what, sometimes you see guys, driving down the road, and they have so much stuff in the back there that it's like all the windows are covered by stuff, right? And you see the car sits really low. I don't want to be one of those guys. And then of course I have my accordion, I have my backpack. And by the way, about accordion, right? If I go to Costa Rica, what do I do with it? I cannot leave it in the car, especially in Miami, because it's going to be very hot and somebody can steal it because it's pretty expensive. So I think I'll just leave it. I'm going to call the dealer who sold me this accordion and ask him, because I know he has a room in there. He has like a showroom where he keeps like these accordions for sale. And I'll just ask him to put it somewhere in the corner, give him some couple of bucks, you know, just say, hey, if you could just watch it for a couple of weeks. So yeah, that's what's happening. So basically, over the weekend I was very concerned about the truck. Like I told you, I was afraid that they might try to basically take over my truck without paying me. So I even brought the truck to the trailer, had to take an Uber to go back get my car. But now it looks like, you know, everything is good. So I'm getting a new camera, and basically nothing happened today with the trailer and the Jeep, because I'm waiting for them to send me, you know, release documents for the trailer, because I paid them off, right? So Friday, and then I paid the Jeep off Saturday, and so they're supposed to send me some, you know, power of authorization so I can go to MTO and get new ownerships or titles, and then I have to send those by courier to the buyer in Timmins, Ontario. And then everything is cool. Then once he have those, he can go and plate them under his company's name. So basically with the trailer, we're just waiting for the financial company to give me the paperwork. And with the truck, basically since the guy is paying off PACA Financial directly, I'm just waiting for my money. As soon as I have the money, I'm gonna go in the morning. Those two kettlebells, I really don't want to throw them out. You know, they're pretty well. They're not that expensive, but let's say 80 pounds was 135 bucks Canadian, and 60 pounds was $100. But I really like the 60-pound ones because you can do a lot with a pair of 60-pound kettlebells. You know. So I really don't need the 80-pound one, and I don't need the bobble plates, 45 pounds each. So I put them on Kijiji, I think. Yeah, I put them on you know, online for sale, but I know they're very difficult to sell. So, but if they don't sell, I'll just rent, you know, a storage locker and put them in there, because I just don't want to carry so much weight, you know, in my car. And then yeah, once I know what's happening with the truck, I'm gonna email the guy. I'm gonna email the guy in Toronto that wants to buy this camera. He's offering 2,500 Canadian, and that's actually. That's another reason why I'm selling this, is to help me with a super high price on the D6, right? And so it's kind of like, you know, a trade-in, especially, except it's better, right? Because I'm getting good money for this. So 2,500 Canadian, whereas brand new this camera is 38, but I think I paid about $400 for this battery grip, and I promised them I'm gonna give them this, but I said the battery, I'm gonna keep the battery, like not this one. So the guy will get that battery, like the regular one, but the big one inside here, I said, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep this one because I'm pretty sure I can use it on D6. But yeah, I just love this stuff. I love these cameras, you know. I love capturing, you know, wildlife, you know, especially when they're doing something funky, like flying around with lizards and their beaks. And then of course you can always sell this, you know, I mean, you can always sell the pictures, right? I have this Elami stock agency, and I have Pixels. Like Elami is mostly digital, but Pixels.com is prints, right? If somebody wants to buy a print of some super cool bird or some monkey or something, right? So you go to this Pixels.com, to my website, you can choose the frame, you know, everything, and they mail it to you. But Elami, that's where potentially there should be much more money, because that's where you upload the picture and it's sitting there in digital format. And so when somebody, let's say somebody is writing a story, right? They're writing a story, and to illustrate the story, they need a picture of this beer, of this specific bottle of the beer, right? Just, you know. And so they go online, they go to this Elami website, and they punch in the name of the beer, and just say, okay, give me, looking for a picture of a 1/4 full beer, a bottle of this Dratchev beer, you know? So that's how they do it. So it's a stock agency, right? So they supply digital pictures to editors, writers, you know, like businesses. So it's pretty cool. So you can sell one picture many times. But I think so far I sold maybe 4 or 5, but I did sell something, you know. So that's why I'm half joking that I am a semi-professional photographer, because I do sell some stuff, but it's not nearly enough, you know, to survive. But it's still cool that I take a picture, I put my time into learning this, you know, interesting craft, and then somebody buys it on the other side of the world, you know, or somebody puts it in a frame, puts it on their wall. It's just cool, you know, I like it. So anyway, those are my updates. So yeah, the truck is ready. So the only thing I have to do now is remove the 2 kettlebells, and that's what I'm gonna do in the morning. I'm gonna go down there, grab the 2 kettlebells and bring them to my room, because one is already in the car. And then I'm gonna drive to the truck stop where they have this big garbage container, and just get rid of all the bags, all the garbage bags I have inside. And then drive over to the buyer and hand over the keys. And that's it. And I just call the Uber to take me back to my hotel. So hopefully this will happen tomorrow, because nothing happened today. So I'm guessing they did not send me the money today. But usually it takes like 4 hours, right? I don't know what bank they use, but so like I said, hopefully something will happen tomorrow. And then this guy that wants to buy this camera, he wants me to come closer, because he's in Whitby, Ontario, which is 132 kilometers away, or, you know, 80 miles. And so we agreed that he drives west and I drive east, and we can meet somewhere near the airport, basically halfway between his place and my place. And basically, so that's what's happening. So a lot of things are happening, you know. And I'm still thinking what I shall do with all these videos about Costa Rica. Shall I put them on this channel? Shall I put them on my Canadian Range channel, where I'm gonna be doing videos about, you know, shooting and firearms? So I don't know yet. There's my truck over there. You see? So that's the update. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.